Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. 25 months ago today, or 2 years and 1 month, I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is a weight loss surgery in Morristown, New Jersey at Morristown Medical Center. I'm 5'8", I'm 32 years old. My high weight, starting weight day of surgery was 265. Last month I came to you at 182.9. Today I am 182.3, so technically that is a 0.6 pound loss for the month and 82.7 pounds down since surgery. Throughout the month, I've been kind of fluctuating up and down in the 180s. And honestly, if you guys look back at my weight from like most of the year, I guess like April, May, June-ish, I've been in the 180s. So I am determined to get back into the 170s. I did reach my low weight of 165, which was my goal weight in December of last year. Throughout the year, most of the year I was training for this triathlon, so I was burning a lot of calories and I was eating intuitively, still in a ketogenic fashion, but not really restricting calories and not really tracking calories, just eating to my level of hunger, and I maintained all year. So I feel really good about that. But now that I'm not exercising as much, I mean, I'm still exercising 4 to 5 days a week, but like my level of intensity has definitely decreased. I am getting back into the habit of listening to my hunger, eating only when I'm hungry, and tracking my foods, because there's so many delicious foods that are keto. It's easy to get a little crazy with the calories. So in the last couple weeks, I've gone back to just weighing every day and tracking my food, and that has really helped mentally. So, this week is Thanksgiving. For anybody who's in the US, happy Thanksgiving. My husband and I are going home for Christmas, so we're actually staying here for Thanksgiving. It's just going to be the two of us, but I'm looking forward to a nice long weekend. In terms of the holidays in general, though, I'd like to touch a little bit about mindset. I've come to the realization that I don't really think of foods as like on plan or off plan. I can eat anything I want. That's just life. But I do think in terms of habits. I think in terms of like, that's the kind of food I typically eat, or that's not the kind of food I typically eat. So if I'm at a Thanksgiving gathering, a Christmas gathering, I'm not going to eat bread just because it's there. That's not the kind of thing I typically eat. I'm not just going to eat the desserts because it's Thanksgiving or because it's Christmas. That's not the kind of thing I typically eat. I'm going to stick to the kinds of things I typically eat, which is, protein, fat. That's it. So I don't try to think in terms of a restrictive mindset. I try to think of the way foods make me feel in terms of my physical body, right? I know if I eat something really sugary or really carby, I'm just not going to feel well. And sometimes that's okay. Like, that's the decision you have to make in your life, right? Is it a net positive for me overall to eat this thing? If you know it's going to make you feel bad physically, but it's going to make your grandmother super happy and you're just like so excited to eat this pie that you've eaten like every year since you were a little kid, then eat it, right? If it's a net positive on your life, it's okay. But if it's just a bread roll and it's just there and it's just going to make you feel sick and nobody cares if you eat it or not, I wouldn't eat it because it's just going to make me feel bad. So I try to think of foods in that way, just assessing whether it's a net positive or like a net negative in my life. And that way it's much less restrictive. I actually think of keto as like very freeing. Honestly, like I said, I feel like I can eat anything I want. It's just what I choose to eat varies, right? So yeah. Plus, I mean, we didn't get to become really overweight because we ate poorly on one day of the year and then the rest of the year we ate really well, right? We get to be where we are in life as a result of our habits. So if you're in a really good place, it's because you have good habits. If you're in a place where you're unhappy with the way your body is or your mind is or whatever, it's maybe because you have bad habits in place. So if you have good habits in place and then you eat off plan for one day, or you eat things you don't normally eat for one day, guess what? You're still a healthy person. You're still a good person. It's okay. It doesn't matter. If that day brought you a whole lot of joy, but some upset stomach, who cares? Get back to normal the next day. It's fine. I really don't think it's worth it to have a lot of emotional pleasure from food on the day that you're eating it and then like beat yourself up about it afterwards, right? Do what you enjoy. Do what makes you happy. and move on. But remember that what makes you happy isn't eating poorly every single day of your life, right? So that's just the way I think of foods. Yeah. I would also say, just for like the day of, if you're going to a festivity, don't like save your calories. Don't show up super starving, because then it's, it's easier to give in to things you might not normally decide to eat. And of course, if it's the kind of festivity where you can bring foods, definitely bring something that you would enjoy. But again, like when we went home for Easter, my little niece, she's 4 years old, she sat in my lap and she put her favorite Easter candy in my mouth. Like that was a moment that brought me joy. And so I ate it and it was fine. And I moved on with my life, and I'm still a good and healthy person. I didn't use that as an excuse or as a reason to just like eat all the candy for the rest of my life. It was just one moment. And again, that moment brought me joy. And so I think you have to assess your whole life like that, day to day, moment to moment. Is this thing I'm doing good for me overall, right? Having this bonding with my mom or my grandma or my niece, is that really good for me? Yeah, probably. So have it. It's okay. Don't stress about it. I would also say, just make sure you get enough sleep. I know during the holidays that's sometimes tough because we're so busy with family and things and preparations, but I find that when I don't sleep enough, it's harder to resist cravings. And I would also say continue exercising the way you normally do. So because the holidays are a level of added stress with travel and people visiting, sometimes we try to take on too much. But I think if you're accustomed to a certain level of exercise, try to at least maintain that, right? It doesn't have to be like you're at a 10 at the gym all the time, but whatever you normally do, try to maintain that, and don't let the holidays be an excuse for a month or 2 months of forgetting who you are and what you want to do. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you don't think of food as the enemy and terrible and scary and stressful. I hope you can find a way to enjoy the foods that you enjoy time with your family, and have a great Thanksgiving. I will talk with you soon.